Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host Andre C. Right over here, it's the chillaxing princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I am chillaxing right now. I'm listening to a storm.
Yeah.
Got to listen to some wrestling today. Well, listen to Walker Stewart and Chris Charlton. Do some wrestling today. It's been a very chill day. I got a lot of my list crossed off. That. How are you doing today, my friend?
Good day. I got up. I was watching the show last night. As we record this, it's Tuesday. I was watching the show late last night. Then figured I want to go to bed now, and I was about little over halfway done. So I got to I think I just finished Cobb versus Ishii, and then I went, I want to go to bed. So I went to bed, got up at like 5 a.m. and watched the rest of the show. So yeah, I've been up for a while. And Melball
I mean,
sneezing.
same. It's a funny thing about storms is for whatever reason it just makes me sneeze a lot. Don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So, it's probably going to happen a few more times throughout this show. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, probably.
Oh, definitely. What a show, though. What a
Oh,
show and a couple matches.
Oh heck yeah! An amazing show, amazing Dominion. We are here to talk the best of the Super Junior semifinals. We're just going to give you the results on those two matches, then we're going to talk Dominion as a whole, but capping it off with the best of the Super Junior finals and the resulting setup for a couple weeks from now for the best of for the title shot. Again, it's all and again a lot of big news coming out of this show, both in Japan and the American side for Forbidden Door. Lots and lots coming at us. Oh,
Very much so. Very much so.
yeah. So again, but before we get into that, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining us here, whether it's in video form on YouTube or in audio form on Sunday's Main Event. Thank you so very much. If you want to hear us in audio form, or if you are listening to us in audio form, thank you so very much. Please give us a 5-star review, and then if you want to listen to us though, go to SundayNightsMainEvent.com, get the RSS feed, and add us to your podcast catcher of choice. And listen to us, listen to all the great other content that they have over there. That Sunday show is always dope. Steve has got great stuff with his NXT show on Tuesdays, and Boris and Dax Xavier with their awesome AEW Dynamite review. Love that show. So please check all that out. SundayNightsMainEvent.com or patreon.com/SNME Radio to support them for only $4 American per month. Or go over to Chop Tees and support them by buying a t-shirt or a hat or a hoodie or anything like that over there. And if you're watching us on the video version, whether it's on Andre Mobar's Talk, whether it's on Backbreaker Video, god damn it, every time now. please like
You
the video.
annoy the hell out of me for so many things. I am so happy and proud of myself. I have found one. One.
If you are listening in audio form, I point up at our logos, and Mel started copying me doing essentially doing a touchdown thing.
YMCA.
So please like our video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Don't forget us to share us out to all your friends, family, and crazy people who like to hang out in thunderstorms. And don't forget and hit the notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
Good day. Good day. No, nay, nay.
There is a thunderstorm going on in our area. Me and Mel are like probably a half hour away from each other, but we're both getting the same thunder. We're getting the thunderstorm. Oh man, one hit so loud. Like I was in my basement and it sounded like I was standing outside. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm unfortunately on the kind of like weird area of town where I'm getting a lot of the rain and I'm getting a lot of the noise, but I don't get a lot of light. I know there's a lot of lightning downtown and on the south side right now, but like for me, it's like there's a point like by like 97th Street where it just splits off and it goes north and into the city and it misses me entirely. I do not get a light show. I am jealous.
Yeah, I saw lightning as I was leaving. I was getting ready to leave my job, and I work in a lumber yard. So I saw lightning. I was like, going inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk some best of the Junior semifinal and Dominion. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. So the best of Super Juniors semifinals took place on June 3rd. We decided to just there's only two matches. We just figured tack them onto the air. We're just gonna give you the finishes. TJP did face off with Taiji Ishimori in the first of the two semifinals. The end of the match, Tornado DDT by TJP, and he hits a Mamba Splash, but only gets two. And he goes into the. I wrote Pinche Loco, but I meant Pinoy Stretch. I don't know why. But then TJP transitions into a bone lock, getting Taiji Ishimori's submission on him. But Ishimori reverses into his own bone lock. Then he gets him gets him up, turns it into an inverted bloody Sunday for two. Then he finishes TJP off with the bloody cross for the win. An absolutely incredible match. I thought these two, of the two finals, I was expecting Desperado and Doki to be my favorite, but honestly, this just exceeded everything I could. I loved watching these two in the ring.
I agree. It was very much that technical prowess that we've been seeing a lot more of TJP throughout this tournament,
Mm,
with the combination of just the aggression that we have been consistently seeing from Ishimori, especially since his return. Like we've always seen this kind of power dominance out of Ishimori, but he has just seemed to have stepped it up since returning from that injury. And thank goodness he has.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, good match. A lot of fun. Always great to see these two together.
Oh yeah, again, these two they just have such good flow. And then
Mhm.
we move on to what was the main event of the June 3rd show. El Desperado versus Doki. They're then come the end of the match. They're trading strikes to center. Doki gets an enziguri. Despy stops Suplex de la Luna, but Despy gets him into Despy gets him into Pinche Loco, but Doki reverses into a sunset flip, then transitions into the Doki Choki, or Italian Stretch 32. Desperado does get a pinfall on the readjustment from Doki trying to roll back to center. Doki hits this hard forearm, but Desperado gets a backslide and then transitions it into Pinche Loco, then hits another for the win. So your final will be El Desperado versus Taiji Ishimori in the main event of Dominion that we are about to talk about. Ishimori does come out after the match, has a stare down with El Desperado in the ring. No
Mhm.
physical confrontation. He leaves with no incident, which was actually nice to see.
I did not expect that.
Oh yeah.
Ishimori, despite being a part of Bullet Club, is not a part of the asshole faction of Bullet Club,
Mm-hmm.
which is surprisingly like a thing within Bullet Club. Some of them have a tendency, but some of them are like assholes in a good way. But Ishimori is one of those. Yeah, I don't have a whole ton to add to this. This was just a big battle of flexibility, that lucha style. But then these guys also have that really great, unique technicality to them with the stretch muffler, with the doki choki. They're not typically moves that we see a lot of people doing here anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we see some attempts. We see some attempts. Yeah, I really this was such a fun match for me just because it was so nice to see different styles represented in the finals, including that lucha libre style, which this match just felt like a straight up lucha libre match. It was so great, but then with that technicality and just strength of Ishimori and TJP, the match before, so good. Such a great way to top off the Super Juniors. I'm surprised with how it ended at this point,
Mm-hmm.
and but I'm content with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like I personally would have loved to see Doki in the finals against Taiji Ishimori. In my opinion, honestly, my final that I wanted was Doki versus TJP. That's the final I
Mm.
wanted, but I didn't get
Oh,
it.
that would have been so good. So
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Mhm.
But it was
Okay.
again. I'm very much looking forward. I really, and we'll talk about it when we get to it in the main event. But Desperado and Ishimori always sounds like a good time. Always,
Mhm.
always.
Mhm. 100%.
Yeah. So we move on to Dominion on
Mhm.
June the 9th, and it kicked off with a singles match between Tetsuya Naito and Callum Newman. When they announced this match, I was like, what? But okay, let's go. Let's see what this kid can do with the former IWGP champion.
Mhm.
Newman coming down looking kind of nervous because like you can kind of see it on his face, like he had the nerves into him.
Mhm.
Because again, this is probably his biggest match to date in New Japan, going up against a former champion.
And this is his what, second is this his second singles match in New Japan?
I don't know that stat, but it's very possible.
I don't recall. I feel like he was in one other kind of major singles match before this. I'm not entirely sure. Well, it was certainly, again, as you said, his biggest. And it's especially on a larger stage. This isn't one of the home shows or the house shows where it's like, um, what is it? Cork and Hall, where you have to smash someone's face on the wall. This is a big production show. So
Hmm.
totally understandable I'd be nervous.
Yeah, I'm kind of just scrolling through his cage match looking for. I don't think he's. I think this might be his first.
Oh, damn.
Everything says United Empire. United Empire. There's a singles match in Rev. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Ishii versus Callum Newman last year at Road to Tokyo Dome. There. That's
yeah.
yeah. So he did.
So
He
this was
did. You're
his second,
yeah.
but his
Oh,
biggest show.
he also had one against Shomakato.
That yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And he won that one, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
But
Decent
everything
limit.
else is tag match. Everything else is tag matches.
I
That's
mean, it makes
insane.
sense right now. They're getting him ready, getting him used to the style, getting him acquainted with it, and I think based on this match, did a pretty good job.
Yeah. So Newman actually attacks Naito as he's on the getting on the apron to come in the ring,
Mhm.
drop kicking him to the floor. Then he hits a beautiful triangle moonsault to the floor, Kota Bushi style. He goes to whip Naito into the barricade, but Naito reverses, sends Newman in the barricade. But oh my god, Newman just bounces off. It comes back and just drop kicks the shit out of Naito on the floor. They end up in the ring. They're fighting. Naito ends up getting Newman onto the apron, hits a neck breaker onto the apron. Looked just rough as hell. This is where he finally starts taking off his gear, and then he takes his pants off and then chokes Newman with his pants.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah, he did.
there's some great cravat work by Naito in this match. Newman just gains this insane speed in the ring and hits this sick running boot to Naito. Looks so man, this guy can move. Prince of Pace for sure.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah, it was insanity. He hits a corner drop kick in the PK, can only get two. Naito ends up putting Newman up top at one point, hits a Frankenstein diner. Naito goes for a lariat, but Newman catches him into a Spanish fly for two. Then he hits a bridging tiger suplex for two. They get into a series of reversals. Naito gets a running Destino, but only gets two. Newman's like falling over, trying to throw strikes at him. Naito starts hitting hard back elbow, and Newman fires up, hits a bunch of forearms, but he goes for the tornado kick. But Naito ducks, hits that back elbow to the neck, follows it up with Destino for the one, the two, and the three. So Tetsuya Naito beating Callum Newman. I think as every single person that was looking at this expected.
I would have to agree. We've been seeing him as we mentioned, kind of go through these tag matches with his team members, looking really, really strong with his other team members, and still looking strong in this match. But we are having essentially the new guy go up against a former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, I am actually, I didn't, how do I say this? I expected him to hang with Naito, but I didn't expect him to hang as long as
Hmm.
he did with Naito. I expected this to be a little shorter. So I was actually very, very happy with how they actually did this match. I did also hear on commentary, did you hear Walker mentioning that Callum not liking the comparison he's getting to Will Ospreay, which I found a little odd because at his age, he really would be the second coming of Will Ospreay, the future Will Ospreay, if you will, because Ospreay arguably kind of, I wouldn't say winding down his career, but like he's at a point in his career where he's noticing the wear and tear and is starting to take a bit more responsibility for it. Is that
Hmm.
maybe the right way to kind of look at it?
Yeah, and I understand the getting annoyed at the comparisons because again,
Mhm,
he wants to be seen as his own. But again, it's only natural. You're part of the team that the man founded. The man
mhm,
brought you into this team. You have
mhm,
a very similar style in the way the flying around and the some of the kicks you do, some of the flips you
mhm,
do to your former mentor. Um, it's just it's hard not to compare. You use the os cutter in your matches, so
mhm.
or as we're calling it, the Newman cutter or the Callum cutter, whatever we're calling it
Callum
now.
cutter is what I was calling it.
Yeah, but again, he uses that move, so
Mhm.
yeah,
Mind
you
you,
can't.
we change the name depending on who's using it, right? Because Chris Starr uses a variation of it too. We call that one the Star Cutter. Dalton Rogue, same thing. I call it the Rogue Cutter.
Yeah, you
What
do.
do we call soy? Do we call it the soy cutter? The Irish cutter?
I well, does he hit the os cutter or is it the just the RKO?
He springboards. He springs. He springy
Okay, because I
springboards.
know because his I remember Soyboy, his father used the RKO, and that was called the IRA. So,
I'm fairly certain that Soy Boy springboards off the second rope to do it.
okay, yeah,
So
and
yeah, it
tech,
would be
and
a
tech,
variation of the Oz cutter. So yeah, maybe soy cutter. I don't know, Irish cutter,
and
whatever he wants to call it.
technically Christian Star uses a super os cutter because he comes out of the corner, and that's a super os
There you
cutter.
go.
Yeah,
Star cutter. Star cutter.
a superstar cutter.
There you go.
Yes, we've come up with a new name for the superstar cutter.
Uh, but
Oh,
sorry, back to this match. This was a fun opener,
mm,
great opener for Callum. No shame in the loss in this one. You hung with a champion or former champion, and mm, we can say something else later in the show. But
mm,
yeah, this was a great match, great opener, great way to get the crowd kind of going. So you had a crowd favorite in Tetsuya Naito. There were
mm,
certain points that you could really hear the crowd also behind Callum Newman.
yes.
Um, yeah, so like he's got the crowd captivated. Just keep going with it, keep working at it. And I think eventually one day, I think when he gets out of the black trunks, we'll start to see him start to really differentiate himself from that Osprey kind of lineage and form his own little path.
I do like that he has a more evolved gear than Bolton Oleg though, because he actually has that little green stripe on the side on the side.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
well, as well. Well, we'll discuss that later too.
and I think he's got green on his boots and kick pads too. I think a little bit. Not
I believe so. But
yeah,
like we also saw Kosei Fujita start doing that a little bit more when he joined TMDK in the
he
same
did.
way with the little
He did.
hints of orange or the towel hanging out of his
Hmm.
trunks or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. It is a very nice touch, like you said.
So after this match, we saw Walker and Chris. We saw them at the commentary table. It was great. I always like seeing. I love the fact that for years Kevin Kelly could never get on camera, and now almost every show they show Walker and Chris. It's great.
Yeah. They're one of those productions that just keeps evolving and growing in its own little ways. And I think that they've kind of figured out that we do enjoy seeing the commentary crew.
Oh yeah,
We North Americans like seeing who's doing the yapping.
yep. Those dapper yappers right there.
Yeah,
So
dapper yappers.
we move on to a 6-man tag team match. It's TMDK's Kosei Fujita, Robbie Eagles, and Zack Sabre Jr. taking on the good-looking War Dogs, Clark Connors, Drilla Moloney, and L.J. Cleary from Pro Wrestling Noah. Cleary weirdly fits in with the War Dogs. He really, at least with these two, he kind of fits in with them.
Look wise, yeah.
Yeah, again,
100%.
like he has,
100%.
because like he's more that like smoother handsome. The other two are like the rugged handsome guys. So like, but he fits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I spent a lot of his intro trying to figure out his jacket, why there was a W on it. It was not a W.
Oh my, seriously?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I
I
had,
apologize. I shouldn't be laughing at you. I apologize.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, look at the picture here.
That's an L and a J.
You can, if you don't see that tiny little line in between there, though,
I
it does
understand.
kind of look like a W.
Yep.
But yeah, I aesthetically speaking, I do actually think he did really kind of fit in. Throughout the match, I felt sometimes there was a little bit of a disconnect,
Mm-hmm.
where he kind of felt a little alienated, but I still felt overall he worked very, very well with the War Dogs. Yeah, take
Yeah.
us into it, man.
Connors is this beautiful snap power slam to Fujita. But Fujita comes back with his European clutch on Connors on the gore attempt. But Drilla comes in, picks him up, going for a Drilla killer. But Robbie comes off the top, hitting a flying knee to Drilla to stop the Drilla killer. So they start working over Connors in the ring, and all three members of TMDK get in the ring at one point, all working a body part of Connors. It was great. I love that
So
spot.
funny.
Uh, Drilla ends up grabbing the boot of Robbie Eagles at one point, and Connor just nails him with a Jeep flip. It was just beautiful. Yeah, Fujita. Oof, this kid, every time, I gotta say, his chops are phenomenal.
Mhm,
Yeah, so
mhm,
throughout the match when Cleary's been in, he runs over and like shoves Sabre in the face or hits him or something, just
mhm.
antagonizing him. So Sabre gets in the match and just starts unloading on Cleary. And it just because he's been getting cheap shotted the entire match. And he gets him down, hits that neck snap with the feet. It was just so good.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm,
the end of this match comes. Cleary hits a kick, hits a spin kick to the face of Sabre, but Sabre ends up catching another kick into an ankle lock, then transitions into a German. He gets the German, hits the PK, picks him up, Zack driver, and he just kneels on Cleary for the pin.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, so what happens, so maybe someone didn't let this kid know, you talk shit to the wrong person, you get hit.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, he got hit. He got hit bad. Um, I made the comparison of Dalton Rogue to Drilla Maloney the other day with the double stomps here. Something I forgot that Drilla also does with that is he's so fast. He follows up those sudden double stomps with that elbow drop. Oh, I love that. And in this
Mm.
one, it was so crisp. Sometimes he'll like slide off where his feet will accidentally slide off both ways and he'll end up having to like scooch a little funny and it makes it look a little silly. This was just a perfect boop boop. It was so good. So good. Yeah, I actually thought I was a little disappointed with the payoff from Cleary getting in because I was like, ooh, he's antagonizing Zack this whole match. These two are going to get in and like really get into it. And Nate was like, no, you got your ass whooped. Shit. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of a payoff on that one. However, I thought that what I did see of Clary was pretty cool. Kind of reminded me of a little bit more long-haired Balor when he was over here as Prince Devitt back in
Mm.
the day. Uh, yeah, always nice to see Connors and Drilla. Big fans of the War Dogs. Loving the evolution that we're still continuously getting of Kosei Fujita, Japanese young punk, forever the Ichiban spicy boy in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really nice to see Zack Sabre Jr. back with his boys, supporting them on the road. Yes, great way to follow up the opener.
Yeah, again, I thought just great second match card. Again, I felt this card just flowed all the way to the end, even with
Hmm.
Evil in the semi-main event. This card just flowed.
I agree.
So we move on to the match I was probably looking forward to least on this show, but ended up
Hmm.
being like a really strong match. It's the KOPW Championship match, a Storm Catch Rules match. Yu Uemura versus Great O'Khan. Stormcatcher rules. No strikes are allowed. Grappling, submissions, suplexes are all that are allowed, and pinfalls and stuff. 15-minute time limit. 2 rope breaks each, and if you go for a third, you get disqualified. There's no leaving the ring. If you do leave the ring, it counts as one of your rope breaks. You can only win by pin submission or win by disqualification. Uh, I'm sorry. Uemura is the most white meat babyface I've ever seen in my life because he literally had generic creative wrestler entrance. He literally walked down and just was like, that's it. Like, there's nothing to this man. Ugh.
I mean, yeah, he's like the character that you skipped the creative process on and just went to the match.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Got all the generic stuff.
But he got given a pretty decent finisher.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
Uh, Great O'Khan wearing fight shorts, which have a sponsor
Mhm.
on them too. I don't remember the name of the sponsor, but he has a sponsor on them.
I can't remember either. I just remember
Yeah.
I'll mention the end at the end.
Yeah, Uemura gets an advantage early. He gets a cross arm bar, so Khan is fighting. He's trying not to use his rope break, but eventually has to use his first rope break. Khan ends up biting Uemura. He gets an arm triangle choke, and Uemura eventually has to use his first rope break. Uh, Uemura at one point bites Khan on the ear, just like, screw you, you bit me, I'm biting you. Um, it's like, I don't know if I want to bite somebody.
Don't
Uemura
you
ends up
put
like
it in your mouth.
Yeah, Uemura ends up tossing Khan over the top to the outside, which does result in Khan losing his second rope break. But he did get the chance to regroup on the floor.
That's true. It is
So
true.
yeah, there is Uemura at one point reverses an eliminator into the cross armbar, but Khan is like going for the ropes, and he realizes he can't, and like Uemura is trying to almost like kind of twist him into the ropes to get
Mhm.
him to force him to get him disqualified. But
Smart.
Khan eventually stacks Uemura up for 2, and Uemura has to break it to break the pin. Khan hits this insane overhead throw that looked just awesome. Goes through the
Mhm.
eliminator, but it's reversed. But Khan gets grapple Fado Khan, which is that sleeper suplex, then hits the eliminator for the win. Great Khan getting his championship back, or his however you want to whatever it's called. He's the
KOPW.
it's the interim champion or whatever until the end of the year. Yeah, but yeah, he's got his belt back. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've struggled with the credibility of the KOPW championship just because it sometimes at the best of times feels like a joke championship.
Hmm.
I wanted it to have some credibility. And I thought it kind of was starting with that feud with Shingo Takagi and Taiji last year over it. Um, when it kind of got taken over by these two, it was kind of like got made into a joke again,
Hmm.
which is unfortunate because Great O'Khan is no freaking joke. That guy's a great wrestler, one of the most adaptable wrestlers I've ever seen in a wrestling ring. and that he was able to kind of make this match work for him, and it wasn't this like Yu Uemura's stipulations?
Yeah, because I think the last one with the tire flipping and stuff was
Yeah, that was
Khan's.
Okan. Yeah,
But this one was Yui Mura's. 'Cause usually in the past it was all about voting, wasn't it?
I don't really know.
Like the fans voted on it.
I sometimes, maybe, I don't really know. But, I think I heard, like, the commentary at one point say that, after the match, how unfortunate that Yu Uemura, lost the title in his own kind of rules and his stipulations, so, yeah, it is unfortunate for him, but I'm not gonna lie, I feel it's better this way. I would like to see, just 5 guys kind of turn inward and kind of do some reflection, and with Sonata returning very, very soon, I'd like to see them kind of become something worth talking about again. I'd like to see them reinvigorate, revitalize themselves, and kind of come back a little bit stronger, and maybe find Yuya some charisma out in the big wide world. I so what I was mentioning with the shorts afterwards, what I thought was really interesting and what I've always liked about Great O'Con is he always tries to do something different. I do enjoy that he puts the like belt on his back and that he's doing the United Empire symbols behind his back on his booty or whatever. What I found a little funny with the shorts is because of movement and what have you, they were up there, and he was puckering, so you couldn't see the whole sponsorship name because it was being nom-nommed. Um, but yeah, this was a really surprisingly fun match. This was actually, again, like I think you mentioned, this is not something I was looking forward to either. Um, but it turned out to be actually very, very solid considering I didn't have very high expectations for it.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
turned out like just be a really really good match.
Yeah, and it didn't what I really liked about it, how long it was.
It was like
It
10 minutes.
wasn't
It was 10,
yeah,
just
it
over 10
wasn't too
minutes.
long, and it wasn't too short, it was just right. It was Goldilocks.
Yeah, definitely. We move on. Oh, there. It's a picture of Ogredo Khan standing over your mirror with that title belt in his awesome new fight shorts.
I like those lengths that length of short on
Yeah,
him.
I
Like,
think that suits him very well.
yeah, I do like the pants as well. I feel like the pants kinda help with the overall look of the warlord gimmick that he's going for.
Hmm.
I'm not a fan of the trunks too much,
No,
but I like these shorts.
I'm hoping for it'll be comedy pants, serious fight shorts.
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
it's kind of the way it works. I'll move on. Never open weight 6-man tag team titles. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Bolton Oleg, and Toriano defending against LIJ's Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Yota Tsuji. Bushi with that fuzzy mask again that haunts my nightmares. This time it's neon green and just
I forgot to look up what critter that was.
no, just no. Um, Yeah. You get into the match, it's just some good back and forth early. Bolton ends up dropping Tsuji at one point, hits the flying body sausage. And then he does that gut wrench swing to hey,
Oh,
that's
yes,
what
to
Chris Charlton
Suji.
calls it. That's what Chris
Yeah, yeah,
Charlton
no.
calls it. And then
I know.
he does that gut wrench swing to Tsuji. I was
Mhm.
very impressed by it because Tsuji didn't really even tuck that much, and Bolton
Mhm.
looked like he had no
Mhm.
problem swinging Tsuji around. Then hits the gut wrench suplexes or gut wrench suplex. Then Hiromu and Bushi in trying to double suplex Bolton Oleg, but no shot. He just lifts them both and suplexes the both of them.
Adorable.
Uh,
Adorable.
Bolton outpowering Yota Tsuji, but Tsuji comes back, hits that backbreaker into the facebuster and stomp, follows it up with a Falcon Arrow for 2. The end of the match comes. Tsuji hits a knee to stop a sling blade by Hiroshi Tanahashi, and he hits strikes and a headbutt, dropping him. Tsuji gets stopped by Yano on the spear attempt. El Presidente hits the sling blade, and Bolton takes out Bushi and Hiromu. El Presidente to the top, misses the high fly flow, and Tsuji lines up Gene Blaster. And LIJ are your new never openweight 6-man tag titles. Tsuji has a belt. It's still higher profile than the KOPW, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, but they did make a big deal about this again on commentary. It's his it's not a singles title. Yuya Uemura is still the first one of these four to come back and win a singles title. Ren Narita also won the trios titles. Tsuji has also won the trios titles. Shota has not won anything, which is surprising. He is kind of the favored one of the four.
And he was the first one back.
Yeah. He left at the same time as Narita, and I think Narita came back pretty much around the same time.
Yeah.
But with this one, I thought it was very interesting that the one person who, like, it was a fun little story. The one person who wasn't interested in this match was one who was showcased the most and was the one who won the match, which is Yota Tsuji. He was very, okay, I just want to wrestle kind of about this match, whereas, like, Bushi and Hiromu seem to be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun, camaraderie, and friendship. You know, Candy Mountain, Charlie.
Friendship is magic.
Yeah, making pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Like, you know, they were gung ho for this, whereas Tsuji was like the older sibling who has to watch the two younger ones, even though in this situation he's the youngest. I was very impressed with El Presidente in this one. Moving really, really good, looking really, really good. At the press conference, he had shown his kind of like transformation over the last little bit since we haven't seen him wrestling too regularly with the Super Juniors going. Love it. Love it. Looked really great. I was surprised that it was Presidente who took the pin on this one.
Yeah, I really thought it was going to be Bolton.
Same. Like, I thought that he would have gotten set up for that really awesome curb stomp and then the Gene Blast.
Yeah.
By Tsuji. But I definitely thought I knew it was going to be Tsuji picking up the win. I just definitely thought it was going to be Bolton taking the pin. Tanahashi was actually the last one I thought would take the pin in this one. So very, very interesting choice there. My favorite part of this, though, was the celebration afterwards. I think I recorded it and sent it to you. There's Hiromu just being like, "Yay! We won! Oh my god!" And just rolling around like so super excited. I loved it. Everyone needs a friend like Hiromu to celebrate your wins.
I think he's also like, "Yay! This my first non-junior title. Let's go! This is my way I can move up. Yay!"
This is true. This is true because I think the last time that they held those titles, he was holding the IWGP Junior title, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Can't remember on that one.
Yeah, because that was the one when Evil and Sonata were still part of LIJ, and I think Sonata was the only one without a title. Sad Sonata.
Sad Nada.
Sad Nada.
We move on. Oh, there it is. There's the beautiful picture. I keep forgetting I put pictures in after a bunch of these.
That beautiful picture. That beautiful picture.
Tsuji just towering over both of them with this title.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. What a great match. This was so much fun.
Maybe this time next year he'll have the never open weight championship in singles championship in his hands. Very possible.
Would love to see that. Also, just something worth noting, Bushi's allowed to spit again, and he is doing so.
Mm,
That excites me for some reason. Not
okay.
in that way, you perv.
I just said okay. That's all I said. I'm just confused by it. Um, Next match is the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television title. The New Japan NJPW World, the actual online television title. Jeff Cobb defending against Tomohiro Ishii. They just immediately smashing into each other. Cobb drops Ishii. Cobb gets a drop kick, surfs on Ishii's back. Ishii responds, dropping Cobb with a huge shoulder block. Cobb hits this. So Ishii goes falling into the corner, and Cobb just launches in the corner and hits this like swinging back elbow to the back of Ishii's head, and Ishii just drops like a sack of potatoes.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that was one of my first notes there. Yeah, it looked like an European uppercut-y thing to me, but just the way he hit
Yeah.
it was so freaking. I've never seen someone do something like that. And like, especially because Ishii wasn't even all the way in the corner. He was a good arm's length from the corner. Just the way he crumpled, I was like, ooh, that's nasty.
Yeah, that looked so good. Ishii later in the match gets
Mm.
a vertical drop suplex. Cobb gets Ishii up top, and he actually hits Ishii with the superplex off the top. Uh, Backdrop by Ishii, but Cobb gets a belly to belly, but then Ishii hits a lariat. Then Cobb drops Ishii with his own lariat for two. Cobb then hits his just gross headbutt and hits a standing moonsault for two. The end of this match comes F5000 for two by Cobb. They trade shots. Cobb hits spin cycle, but Ishii stops Tour of the Islands with and hits a headbutt. Then he hits a Rana and then falls over with a big old lariat for two. Cobb stops the vertical drop brainbuster, and he hits Tour of the Islands to retain his championship in 11 minutes and 47 seconds. This match is free on New Japan World. Go watch it. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A battle of the no neck. And we found out which no neck was superior. It looked like Cobb trimmed down a little bit in the last little bit.
Mm,
Ear fitting not as snugly as it used to. Shoulders are looking freaking huge. Great. There's also less tape on that knee. That makes me happy to see. Um, what else? What can we add? This is an extremely heavy hitting match. Well, there was a lot of mass in this match.
mm,
I think they said it a number of times on commentary, just big meaty men slapping meat. These two were beating the holy hecking crap out of each other. It was great. Um, that big old lariat that you said that Ishii hit him with, holy heck, there's not a lot of people who I have seen force Jeff Cobb to hit an inside out kind of bump with he inside out at Jeff Cobb.
mm.
That's insane. That's just pure power. The lariats on Ishii are just incredible. There's a reason why I consider this man the gatekeeper of the heavyweight division in NJPW because he is that damn good. This was such a good match.
Mm.
So good.
I thought these two just were spectacular here. Just,
Hmm.
dude, this match easily can go on my list of top matches this year because it was just fire.
Yes. This was a
Yeah.
great straight up power Japanese strong style match.
Mm-hmm. Before
Hmm.
we get into this next match, that in between these two matches, they announced that G1 is returning. They had already announced the dates.
Hmm.
So they announced the blocks and not the participants yet. But they announced that we're going back to the two block format. There's going to be 10 entrants per block. 18 will be revealed on June 16th. But then for the other two spots, the one in each block, there will be a playoff with 6 people, with people seated 1, 2, and 3. Just trying to read it here. Uh, Yeah. So yeah, and it'll be like and then there'll be a playoff to kind of get in, or matches to get into that final. And the finals of the G1 is actually going to be 6 people, which is odd, because usually it's 2 people per block at most. It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
3. So the first place person will get a bye to the second round of the playoffs. The people that come in second and third in their respective block will face off. At least that's according to, yeah, they will face off. The winner of the 2-3 match will face the person that finished first in their block, and the winner of that match will go to the finals, essentially.
Okay.
So making it more
Hmm.
complicated.
I mean, maybe it'll help with all these frickin' tiebreakers and ish.
Mm-hmm. And again, there's now
Right?
more potential for certain guys to get to the finals, because like last year we did a little thing with SNME Radio, where we did like a little pick'em pool or draft thing.
Or
We're
I
looking
picked
to
Kenta again and I was stupid.
Yeah, we're looking to do the same thing again this year. It's going to be even tougher because I'm only going to be able to do 5 people this year, because that'll end up with, if we do 5 people, that ends up with 4 picks each. Yeah, it's going to be a lot tighter this year to do a fantasy draft.
Yeah.
You might have to actually just make it 4 people, so we each get
No, we
5.
can do it. We can do it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But we're gonna have a fantasy draft this year on the channels. With last year, the man who organized last year, Matthew Ederer, will be coming back again to join us. And
Hmm.
we're still trying to figure out who the other 2 are. So, but we'll have more information as the participants are announced, and the final 2 people, once they get announced, then we'll do the draft.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Coolio.
coolio. So we get into this. Okay. It is a 4-way elimination tornado tag match for the IWGP and New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships. Bullet Club's Chase Owens and Kenta, who are the current IWGP champions, taking on Gorillas of Destiny, El Fantasma and Hikuleo, who are the current Strong Openweight champions. They were with Jado, taking on TMDK's Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste, who have Fujita, Eagles, and Sabre at ringside with them, taking on
Hmm.
Bishamon, Hiroki Goto, and YOSHI-HASHI. This match was complete chaos. Just until we got down to the final 2 teams, it was just pure chaos. And even then, it was still kind of chaotic.
Hmm.
I'm not going to go through everything here. Bullet Club gets this great little toss up into a powerbomb neck breaker to ELP. Looked really good. I quite like that. So they're all fighting in the ring. ELP is doing all his moves. He hits the super kick to Haste, but Haste reverses Godsend into a DDT. ELP hits sudden death to Hikuleo by accident when he's trying to hit, I think it was Shane Haste.
Hmm.
And TMDK send ELP out. They hit the Tank Buster to Hikuleo, and the Strong Openweight Tag Champs are eliminated. And this caused a little kerfuffle for the team.
It did, yeah, yeah. And usually like NJPW in Japan is pretty on top of their camera work. With this particular thing, they were kind of back and forth. So I don't know if maybe this wasn't supposed to happen, or maybe they weren't told. I don't know. But yeah, they when we finally got cameras on them, it looked like Hikaleo was not too happy with ELP there, which is unfortunate because like he didn't take the pin, he just kicked his buddy in the face accidentally. I'm sure that
Yeah.
wasn't the first time he's booted him in the face.
But then
Probably won't be the
Hikuleo
last.
walked to the back without him, and ELP was still on the ramp.
Yeah, Jado also followed Hikaleo instead of comforting ELP, a little concerning.
Not surprising there. I think he's probably closer to Hikuleo, being that he was with Tama uh, uh, and Tangaloa for so long. I think he's probably closer to him, anyways, right? So
Most likely, yeah. He would
yeah,
probably be one of the only connections that ELP would have there, though, too.
yeah. So
Mhm.
actually, Chase at one point hits a Death Valley driver to YOSHI-HASHI, and Kenta hits a PK, and then Bullet Club does the war drums to Hiroki Goto. I was like, ha 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 ha.
I called them the bullet clubs. Bullet clubs.
That's genius. The Bullet Clubs.
I know. I know. Go to that one.
I still hate the move, but I like the name better. Still hate the
I
move
do
though.
too. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, now they're gonna do the war drums. I'm like, no, it's the bullet clubs.
So the next elimination comes. The C trigger is caught by Goto, and YOSHI-HASHI hits a super kick, and then he gets a neck breaker across the knee of Goto to Chase Owens across the knee of Goto. They hit violent flash to KENTA, and then they hit violent flash to KENTA onto Chase Owens. Then they hit Shoto to Chase Owens, and they eliminate the IWGP Tag Champions. So we're getting completely brand new champions here. We're down to Bishamon versus TMDK, baby. Let's go. I was excited for one of these teams to be the final two teams, not for the other. I was like, oh God, please don't let. I was like, please don't let Bishamon win. Please don't let Bishamon win. Goto goes to the top rope, but YOSHI-HASHI gets run into Goto while he's on the top rope, and Yoshi sent out, and TMDK hit the Olivia Newton bomb onto Hiroki Goto, but they only get two. Goto comes back, just fighting back. Him and YOSHI-HASHI trying to go in for everything. Haste ends up Goto ends up dropping Haste with a headbutt, but Haste comes right back with this huge drop kick. TMDK follows up. They hit the power bottom to Goto, but YOSHI-HASHI breaks up the pin. You even sent me power bottom today.
As soon as I heard it too, I started laughing. I'm like, that's so funny because that's what you called it. And then you hear Chris Charlton, you can't
No,
say that.
no,
Yes, he did.
well, it's from the last American show because Walker called it,
Mm-hmm,
or they yelled power bottom, and that's why I called it power bottom because they were
mm-hmm,
yelling it.
mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that's the name of the move.
Yeah, and then Chris Charlton, you can't say that on TV. Well, Chris, you just did. And he said it a few more times after. It was so funny. But it's
Yeah,
like, really, Chris, you're going to give him crap about that? You got Drilla Moloney walking around dropping F-bombs.
yeah, power bottom is fine. The end of this match comes. YOSHI-HASHI hits a huge chop to Shane Hayes, but Mikey Nichols catches him. They hit Tank Buster for two. Then they get him back up. Hayes goes to the top. Super Tank Buster, and your new IWGP and New Japan Strong Tag Champions, TMDK, baby. Let's go. Oh,
Yes.
I'm so happy.
Now frickin' leave them there
Mm-hmm.
for a little bit. They need it. The tag division needs it because literally the only four tag teams that I feel that are reputable in this company were in this match. Say no bueno, no bueno.
Yep.
Yes, yes, yes. And these are the ones. These are the guys that you give those title matches to when you know you want a good match. For so long, they were denied the privilege of carrying this gold. It's about time. Thank goodness.
I'm so happy.
Whatever it takes to keep these titles on these guys, I don't care. They want to go heel, go heel. You guys want to start doing blatant eye pokes? Do blatant eye pokes. I don't care. Just keep those titles.
Yep. For me, how it goes in professional wrestling, in the way I look at factions right now, it's United Empire, TMDK, and then
Mm.
EXV. Those are my top three factions in professional wrestling right now. Like, oh God, I'm so happy to see these ways. And again, knowing their history of being in Pro Wrestling Noah, being former GHC tag champions, going to
Mhm.
NXT. I don't know if they ever got to get the belts there. I don't remember if they. I don't think they ever did.
I don't think they did. I think Haste got injured.
Yeah, they didn't get the belts there, and then reuniting, not being able to pick up the strong titles in that initial tournament, then finally
Mm.
getting the strong titles on them earlier this year, and then losing them back to God, and now they
Mhm.
finally got the title one of those IWGP belts I've held when Harry Smith was tag champs
Oh,
with
right,
Lance
right,
Archer
right.
when he was here. I got to hold one of those belts. So like I'm so happy to see those guys finally putting on the pinnacle of Japanese tag team titles on their on the shoulder.
Yes,
It's great. I'm so happy.
I as well. It is about damn time. Now leave them there for a bit,
Yes.
please, and thank you.
Please and thank you. We move on to the never open weight championship match. It's Shingo Takagi defending against Hanare. These two are just smacking the piss out of each other throughout the entire match.
Mm-hmm.
They just keep smashing into each other like freight trains, hitting repeated headbutts to each other, but in a kind of safe-ish way where they were doing the ones like you have the head, but then you kind of end up almost hitting, you hit your hand,
Yeah, yeah.
but then they do go into the skull to skull headbutts, and I was like, ew, no, ugh, no.
We
Um,
still didn't have the same results that we had with him and Mikey Nichols, though.
yeah. Um, Shingo catches the rising knee in the corner into a beautiful power bomb out of the corner.
Oh,
Hits a
yeah.
sliding lariat, but Hanari pops right back up and hits a running knee. They're trading hard chops and kicks at center. Hanare drops in with kicks, but then Shingo hits this just palm strike dropping Hanare. Hanare comes back with a disaster kick off the second turnbuckle, but then Shingo hits a lariat to drop Hanare. Hanare ends up reversing Made in Japan into Ultima, then into Streets of Rage, but can't capitalize on the pin. The exposed knee to the face by Hanare, but Shingo catches the knee at another running knee at center and hits Made in Japan, but he cannot capitalize by getting the pin. So Shingo starts unloading strikes, but Hanare hits a liver shot. Shingo hits his own shot. Then Hanare gets a PK, gets him down and hits a PK. They continue to trade strikes, then headbutts. Hanare drops him with a headbutt, but then Shingo pops up. It hits a lariat, then hits this then Hanare comes out with this rocket like headbutt, like almost like a flying Kokeshi, like just rocketing headbutting him. And they both go down. And the ref starts to count 1, 2, he gets to 9. I'm like, get up. And they get to 10. And this is a double knockout. I was kind of disappointed here because it was so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This one it was like one of those matches that we've said where it's like, it's so good, the journey, but the results, no point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Disappointed. Boom.
Is that all
Boom,
you
boom.
got? Is that all you got? Disappointed?
No. See, here's the thing, like, the ride, like I said, the ride was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Ride was so good. These guys were fired right up. Hanari especially, we just seen him come back after that pretty serious injury when it was like brain was split open. Well, his brain wasn't split open, but his head was split open. And it was just crazy. And he was gone for a good little while for coming back for this kind of feud. And he came back very savage, very
Mm-hmm.
angry, very much that kind of Maori warrior that he is very clearly by his beard tattoo. I mean, wow. This match was so good, but then to have it end like that, I was just like, but but why? What I do kind of enjoy about it though is that it kind of leaves an open-endedness to it, in
Hmm.
that the idea that we could revisit this potentially, and that as a fan, I wouldn't be mad about it. I feel that they could be given a little bit more time to build a little bit more something behind it, have some more undercard matches that are maybe considered a little bit more important. Because the focus lately has been the Super Juniors, so that any undercard tag matches have kind of not been considered very important in the overall kind of scheme of things. So I don't feel that this particular match was given the kind of build that it could have potentially had, particularly with both these guys being so good at talking that talk. So I think that for me as a fan, despite being like a little disappointed with how it did end, that it does leave me excited at the potential of a re-showdown of these guys again later. And we know that Shingo is really good at showdowns again.
And then again, they can push this match till the fall because especially after the Soul Tour,
Mhm,
they're going into the G1. And I really
mhm,
kind of
mhm.
hope we see these two in the same block so we get like a teaser in the summer of
Yeah.
what's to come, maybe a King of Pro Wrestling or whatever show they want to do in the fall. Have these two
Mhm,
face off for the title again. And honestly, it'd be kind of cool if they ended up again in some kind of draw, like a double count out, double something in the
mhm,
G1, so that they're both nobody has that advantage going into the next title match. I think to
mhm.
be kind of cool, but I need it to be like a double count out or just a 30-minute draw or something if
I
they
agree.
face off in the G1. Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So we move on. Semi-main event of the evening. It's Jon Moxley, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, defending against Evil. So the Lumberjacks for Evil are House of Tortures, Yujiro Takahashi, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Sho, and Ren Narita, and their little dick. Um, Evil comes out with a replica IWGP title. It is not him. He ends up missing the New Japan
He
ownership.
didn't mist him. He sprayed him in the face with spray paint.
Oh, was this okay? Whatever he did, he sprayed a bunch of black goo in a dude's face. This is like a New Japan ownership representative. Um,
Mhm.
he talks shit to him and tells him to go home, and the guy ends up leaving. The Lumberjacks from Moxley are Shota Umino, Tiger Mask, Yuji Nagata, Togi Makabe, and Hiroyoshi Tenzan. Um,
Ah.
again, everybody starts brawling during the entrance of Moxley. Uh, they end up they're fighting on the floor. Then they get into the ring. Moxley gets a figure four in the ring, but Evil eventually gets to the ropes. And but Moxley pull. I noticed Moxley pulling a Naito here and just kind of relaxing, but not letting the move go, and the ref untying the legs.
Mhm,
Yeah, he pulled a
mhm.
Tetsuya Naito there. I
It's
liked it.
smart. It's smart.
Yeah. Evil sends Mox out at one point, and House of Torture all start whipping Moxley with the belts. I was like, ow.
Yeah, that probably didn't feel too pretty, no.
No. Evil gets a modified knee bar in the ring, but Moxley gets to the ropes. Moxley gets to 10 punches into a pile driver for two. Evil rolls out. Mox gets a beautiful tope suicida onto all of House of Torture. Mox gets a belt and starts whipping Evil like a government mule. Pull an old I was surprised one of those two didn't pull out an old JRism there. I was surprised by that.
And probably a stance in solidarity with Kevin.
Yeah. Moxley ends up setting a table up on the floor. Togo throws powder in his face. Evil gets a chair, puts it on the head of Moxley. Pulls off that old home run hit that he would do, hitting the chair
Mhm.
around the guy's neck. Um,
What I loved also in that moment is you could literally see the powder track right across Moxley's face. Like, there was powder flying up everywhere, like, they did really, really good, but he just clearly threw so much that he had, like, an Urukai white line up his face. It was amusing to me.
yeah. Evil back in the ring. Evil gets Moxley up, hits a superplex. He only get two. He puts on I think it's Tenzon's Anaconda Vice, but Moxley
Mhm.
fights out into a choke, and then Evil starts grabbing at the ref, and the ref goes to smack Evil, but Evil drops, and he hits Moxley, and Moxley goes at the ref, and
I mean, to be fair, I mean, he probably didn't see the setup, he just felt the smack, right? So, like,
yeah.
he's probably like, "Why the hell is this little guy just smacking on me?"
So Evil takes advantage of the distraction and picks up Moxley, hits Darkness Falls, but only gets two. There's a pure chaos rings out as all the lumberjacks end up in the ring and everybody's just brawling. Narita comes
Mhm.
in, just smacking everybody with the push-up bar. Evil hits a
Mhm.
low blow to Mox. House of Torture then hit the Shield power bomb through the table on the floor. Evil then brings him into the Mox into the ring, hits a Death Rider, but he only gets two. Everything is Evil reversed into an Everything is Violence by Jon Moxley, as it was called. Mox gets a barbed wire bat from under the ring, takes out all the members of House Torture, but Evil hits him. He gets the bat, but Mox hits a cutter. Mox then just unloads on Evil with the barbed wire bat, hits the curb stomp, follows it up, Death Rider, and Jon Moxley retains the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I know you and me were both saying we kind of wanted to see Evil win to get this title back in Japan, but I'm kind of relieved that Jon Moxley won in a way because now I don't have to deal with Evil being the champion. You know what I mean? It was like one of those catch-22s.
Mm, I disagree. I still would have liked to see Evil take this. And given what has been set up now, with Forbidden Door, um, do we want to reveal that real quick?
Yeah, so post match, Moxley cuts a promo. Well, Moxley celebrates with his lumberjacks, gets a good pose, nice pose there with the legends and Shota Umino.
Mhm, mhm,
They're all wearing Jon Moxley and Mox shooter shirts. I like that.
mhm, mhm.
Cuts a promo saying, "Anybody, anytime, anywhere, come out and face me. I'll take any challenger." And Tetsuya Naito makes his way out, challenges Moxley, and this match has been made official for Forbidden Door. So I feel like this is just it's an all around great. The title's coming right back to Tetsuya Naito here.
Mhm, mhm. The only reason that I'm okay with Jon Moxley retaining the IWGP Championship here is that at Forbidden Door, he is dropping it to Naito,
Mm.
while Mercedes Moné will be picking up the NJPW Strong Women's Championship from Stephanie Beckett. That's
Mm-hmm.
the only way I'm going to be happy at this point
Oh, 100%.
because, again, we are getting into G1 season. We need our champion in the tournament, pure and simple. And I don't think that Moxley is available for that long. I
I
don't
don't
think
think.
that
Oh, yeah, as I
I
say,
don't think that Tony would allow him that time away. And I also don't see them giving us Swerve anytime soon, which is a damn shame because I would enjoy that. But he would also have some incredible matches with some incredible people over here. Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
mm,
Especially if you put him in, I would say the most obvious team to put him in, which would be LIJ. I feel that that would be a good spot for him to sit while he's out there because he is not quite face, he's not quite heel. You know what I mean?
if it wasn't for
He's
the
also
fact that his team just turned on him, I would have just said take Gates of Agony and Brian Cage with him, but his team just turned on him too. So
no, 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 no. Like, bring him over, have LIJ be hospitable to him because he's just like them. He's ungovernable.
mm-hmm.
I struggle with that freaking word. But yeah,
Ungovernable,
I yeah, blah, 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 blah. I can say it better in Spanish than I can in English. How sad is that?
ingobernable,
Ingobernable.
ingobernable.
It's so weird. Anyway, I still, even though that's clearly what is most likely going to happen, I still would have liked to see it on Evil, just so that I know in that little bit of time that we would have the IWGP title in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I can deal with it if it's just going to be another a month. It's the 30th, right? So like 3 weeks.
3 weeks, like
No,
3 weeks. The
no,
title's back in
it's
Japan.
beginning of July, isn't it? Or is it
No, it's the
the
30. It's
30th?
literally June 30th. Literally less than 3 weeks.
That watch party's happening here. Right, right. I'll be back. Don't worry.
You're the watch party house. Come on.
I have to know these things. Yes, I know.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. from Indoor. These two, I think, would be pretty phenomenal.
I agree. Um, I I'm a little worried though because it will be on AEW. We know that Moxley likes to bleed, and we know that AEW has no problem blading. We know that Tetsuya Naito likes to bleed. I don't think he needs a blade. I feel like his skin just really does rip that easily. But I suspect that one of or both of these guys is going to be excessively bloody by the end of this match, and I'm not looking forward to that. But we both know that both of these guys are able to participate in each other's psychological warfare very, very efficiently. So we know that the build that we're going to get for the next couple of weeks is going to be phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But we also know that the battle that we're going to get is going to be disgusting.
Yeah, it very much will be.
Mm.
Yeah, so we move on to main event of the evening. It is the best of the Super Juniors 31 finals. It is Taiji Ishimori versus El Desperado. Ishimori in the white knight gear tonight. Desperado comes up through the stage, kneeling on the riser. Kind of badass there. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I liked it. It was very suave.
So we get into the match. Jespy ends up catching the back handspring flip kick into a backdrop, sending Ishimori out through the ropes, and then hits a beautiful tope suicida to the and Jespy hits a tope suicida to the floor. Um, Ishimori gets Desperado in the ropes near the corner, and he hits the nasty German, our favorite move.
Yes.
He misses the
Yes.
Yeah, he misses the 450, but then he gets that double knee tombstone lung blower. And I love that move. I love that. Oh, that
Mhm.
tombstone lung blower. I love that move. Later in the match, Jespy gets a stretch muffler, but Ishimori rolls him up for two. Then Ishimori with the poison Rana, but Desperado comes back with a huge spine buster. Despy gets a knee breaker into a stretch, but Ishimori rolls through into a pin, then snaps at the arm. He hits a ripcord La Mystica into the bone lock. Ishimori rolls it to center, but Desperado fights. He fights. He fights. But as Ishimori tries to roll them back to center again, Desperado transitions into numero dos, but Ishimori keeps one arm free and gets the reverse around into a Canadian destroyer. It was
Yeah.
great. The
Mhm.
transitions here were just off the charts. Um, Ishimori later in the match, Ishimori reverses Pinche Loco and hits a kick in the face. Inverted Bloody Sunday by Ishimori for two. Desperado sends Ishimori into the exposed corner. He hits a J Driller, follows it up with that Pinche Loco. And El Desperado is your IWGP not I don't, your
Next
best of the
challenger?
super. He is the best of the Super Juniors winner, and he is the challenger for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Let's talk about the match before we talk about the post match.
Wow. Just wow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been telling you for quite some time, like since I started watching this, NJPW, I felt that Desperado was one of the most underrated characters being utilized in New Japan in Suzuki-gun at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had his run as that first run that I saw him with the IWGP Junior title. That he was the double champion with Kanemaru with the junior tag titles. To see the growth and development that this character has had to become one of the most beloved wrestlers in this company, that he gets to have his own pay-per-view, like the Despy Invitational. Like, how crazy is that? That he has never, up until this point, won Super Junior tournament. So crazy. These
Mm-hmm.
guys put on a frickin' clinic. This was the
Mm-hmm.
definition of a high-speed junior strong style match with such the perfect combination of styles because you have Desperado who we know is a great hardcore wrestler, but he has this incredible combination of that lucha traditional kind of technicality, whereas Ishimori is that just straight up high speed power
Mm.
with those hints of aerial and technicality. But when he pulls out that technicality, oh my God, it's usually a deciding factor in his matches. The match was just it reached my expectations and then blew them out of the water. It had me captivated from start to finish. I absolutely loved how these two guys flowed together. And Ishimori has really come out of that Bullet Club shell. Because when he first joined, he really did struggle for the first couple of years to kind of find a proper footing because he came in when all of that chaos was happening with Jay White. And then he kind of struggled through the exit of Jay White, and that kind of evolution and stuff like that. So I'm very happy that he's kind of finally found his muscle chihuahua niche in New Japan. And I just hope with the continued issues that are happening within Bullet Club that his build isn't affected by them, that his momentum continues upward.
Yeah.
Take us into the after stuff.
So yeah, post match, Desperado's making a speech saying how he's going to get his title match, and Show comes out saying he's stronger than him. And he says, "Let's do this again." They go back and forth, talking crap to each other. Desperado says, "Let's do it. You can beat me we can face me 1-on-1. Let's do it in a cage match for the title. Then it'll really be 1-on-1." The crowd cheering. Show gets all up in a huff. He ends up leaving. And yeah, I'm excited because we got some official announcements that I want to talk about here after you talk about what you feel here.
Let's do it.
So, New Japan Seoul, June 16th, this upcoming weekend, on Sunday. Sunday. We're gonna get a big card here. They've announced a full card here. We're gonna talk about it quickly. We have the two new young the two new young. Oh, I didn't do that. I always forget. I have to do that. I want to get their names. Masatora Usada and Daiki Nagai. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
So they're going to face off on the pre-show. Opening the card will be a 10-man tag. It's Satoshi Kojima, Tomohiro Ishii, and Tomoaki Hanma, along with Shoma Kato and the other one. Remember his name?
Katsuya Murashima.
Yes, with him taking on the United Empire. Yeah, be fun one.
Yeah, look who's back, Akira.
Mm-hmm.
Akira's back.
Oh yeah, Kira's back. I think you want to it looks at least that's he's scheduled to be in the match. Again, you never know, right? You make it bold.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? But still, that makes me happy. In the same way that it makes me happy that Julia is still booked for those two shows in July. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes me happy. Kojima, Young Lions, Hamna. Hamna is such a joy to watch wrestle. Just excitement and energy, just positivity that man radiates. It is hard to not like professional wrestling when you're watching Tomoaki Hamna.
It's true.
Yeah.
He's just so good. Then we got
Yes.
it's Doki and Taichi taking on Ren Narita and Yoshinobu Kanemaru.
Okay, but let's be honest though, arguably the best combination of House of Torture. Most
Oh
credible
yeah.
anyway. But
I love me some Kanemaru because it's just so good throughout that tournament. So I look forward to this match. I think it's gonna be a pretty good one.
I mean, Ren Narita, when he's not doing his annoying show level facial expressions, he's actually Katsuyori Shibata level good.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good. He's such a great technical wrestler. It's just he's playing a tool right now and not a functional one.
It's true. We've got Bishamon teaming up with Shota Umino to take on the rest of House of Torture. Yujiro Takahashi, Evil, and the Little Dick.
I'm brought back seeing this poster too. What did you happen to check your X messages? What I sent you today for articles and stuff and news that I'm trying to get better at sending you.
I think
There's
I
a
did.
small message there, an interview or a clip of an interview that Gabe Kidd did as an
Oh, yeah.
interview where he was talking about other Bullet Club affiliates. I don't know what a Neek is, but apparently Evil is one. And apparently Yujiro can barely walk. And I gotta agree.
It's true.
Gotta agree.
Yeah.
He did not have kind things to say. It was amusing.
Yeah. And then we get LIJ's Titan is still going to be, it's still in Japan, teaming up with Tetsuya Naito to take on Yuya Uemura and Taka Michinoku.
I love Taka's intro gear where he splits it in half. So good. So good. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
He gonna lose, but it's gonna be great.
And we're getting a rematch for the never openweight 6-man tag title. So the titles are probably going right back to El Presidente a week later.
No. No. Oh, I will have such bad criticisms if that happens. Nay, nay. Hot potato titles. You might as well just put Mr. Potato Head on there.
I don't want to get back to these being hot potato belts. I really don't.
No, no, no. Let these guys have add some credibility to it.
100%.
Please.
Then this is for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. It is TMDK, baby. Robbie Eagles, Kosei Fujita challenging the War Dogs of Clark Connors and Drilla Moloney. It's going to be an incredible match.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm going to struggle on who to cheer for. Because, I love TMDK, and the combination of Kosei Fujita and Robbie Eagles is just unbeatable. But how do you impact the dominance that is Clark Connors and Drilla Moloney? Especially when you have Drilla Moloney with having that extremely dangerous kind of pulls it and sets it up out of nowhere Drilla Killer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Jeep hit. What is that? Jeep flip.
The flip.
But and doesn't he do a drive-by too? Like Clark Connors is a beast. Straight up power. Then you got Drilla Moloney, same thing. These guys, they did take losses to TMDK, but wasn't it Fujita lost to Connors and Eagles lost to Drilla. Fujita
All the way
didn't.
around. Eagles beat Connors.
No, Eagles beat Drilla because it was your guy versus my guy, remember?
Eagles beat Drilla, but then I think Kosei Fujita lost to Connors.
No, they both beat them.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's why they're getting this.
You're right.
Come on, man! I had a good point going there.
It's a great point.
I wasn't even done it. Damn it!
Oh, sorry.
No, well, it's gone. You interrupted me, so it's gone.
Then we get a rematch. Rematch.
What? No, why?
I don't know. They decided to go back to it a week later. I completely forgot about this, to tell you the truth.
God damn it. Here we talk so greatly how this didn't have to happen right away. It could happen later, date, blur, blur, blur. Oh, by the way, it's happening next week.
I completely forgot. Your semi-main event of the evening is for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. I just need to move off that because I'm still mad that match is happening so soon. It's Sonata returning to face David Finlay.
Oh no!
I know.
Oh no! Now here's my problem. Because Sonata's coming back from injury, you want him to come back on a high note. You want him to come back swinging. So you'd want him to figure out a way to look strong coming out of this match. You can't take that belt off Finlay yet, though. You cannot. Cannot. He just won it. Now he's been on a hiatus because of the Super Juniors. No. This belt was made for this man right now. This is the perfect person to be holding a global title because he can go global, especially now that he has someone like Gabe Kidd in his pack, if you will, who's the NJPW Strong Champion. No. Mm-mm. But then again, you can't have Sonata lose this match, not clean anyway,
Mm.
because that'll make him look hella weak. And I hate saying this because Sonata is a personal favorite of mine. He went out looking weak. He's had a very hard time since winning the IWGP title and then dropping it. He struggled even more. I'm concerned. This match concerns me
Mm.
greatly and deeply. This needs to be played so right. This needs to have no AEW involvement. None.
Your
Oh,
main event for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship in a steel cage, baby. It's El
oh.
Desperado versus Show.
I mean, it's in the
Mm.
cage. Okay, this is the cage one. This will be great. Yeah, this will be good for sure.
Yep.
Just I can't wait to see because I hate the over animation expressions that show does. I can't wait to actually see him doing it from Desperado, walking him around and just throwing him into shit. Like,
Mm.
just rub his face along that fence, please, so we can see him going, because that's the only reason that you should be making that face. I want to see him get thrown into a lot of stuff. Please, El Desperado, per favor, please. Beat the holy heckin' shit out of this kid for all of us,
I agree.
please. That is all. PSA from Melball. Destroy the show.
But we've come to the end of another episode of NJPW Puroresu Review. I want to thank y'all for joining us here. You can find me on the X at that Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at that Canada Dude. You can find me on Facebook at Andre and Melba Wrestling Talk. Also on our YouTube page, youtube.com/at Andre and Melba Wrestling Talk. You can also find us in audio form Sunday night main event.com or patreon.com/SNME Radio. Go check us out, get the RSS feed, join up, and if you're listening in audio form, thank you so very much. Please give us a 5-star review. And also go, if you want to support them, you can support them on Patreon, $4 American per month, or go over to shoptees.com and you can purchase a t-shirt, a hat, a hoodie, or all the other merchandise that they have there. Support SNME. You can support them over there. You can also support me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/our local establishment. This comes out on Wednesday morning. I'm going to be live Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, with my boy Oled, bringing back Marvel Talk and the MCU Rebound with our special guest, Lauren Goodnight. We're going to talk in Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So check us out over there. And then one more shout out to our boy Mike the Ref. It's youtube.com/at Backbreaker Videos where you simulcast all of our stuff. And as the AEW watch alongs on there, if you want to see those live, go to twitch.tv/Mike the Ref where you can hang out with him every Wednesday, Saturday, and pay-per-view Sunday as he watches AEW and reacts to it. You can also see him play video games the rest of the week, where you can find the replays of those over at youtube.com/at Backbreaker_gaming, where you can find stuff from him, Mr. PJC, Mr. Rick Jules, and their frequent guest,
Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. We love Kayla J here.
Melba. Where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can find her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can find her on everything else Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishment's programming Japanese Wrestling Update with this guy every Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, unless it's not. And then we will let you know on social media. This week we are going live at your usual time, 8 p.m. We're actually doing a live. I'm going to be live probably twice this week on Friday. Probably doing Ladies Wrestling Showcase earlier in the afternoon. That's going to be a busy, busy day. Busy, busy day for my wall. Anyway, Japanese Wrestling Update, 8 p.m. Mountain Time with this guy, Friday. Be there. You can also catch me, as I mentioned, on Asher Pizarro's YouTube channel where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. Our show all about the ladies of professional wrestling. We got news, updates, all kinds of stuff on there. So be sure to stay tuned to our socials when that guy's coming out. It will most likely be 4 p.m. Mountain Time on Friday, but stay tuned to Asher's socials to find out when exactly. Where do I go from here? If you're wanting to watch New Japan Wrestling, we will leave a link in the description box down below. It is njpwworld.com. It is 999 yen, or approximately 10 Canadian. And it is actually 10 Canadian. Shout out Sean Spears. It's an amazing price to watch some. It's $9.99.
$9.99 American. It's about $14.50
Oh,
Canadian.
our dollar really sucks, don't it?
It does.
Thanks, people who did that. Don't know who to blame in that, but 10 Canadian. Shout out Sean Spears.
Oh, 10 American.
But okay, 10. We want to say Canadian because Sean Spears is Canadian.
$14.50 Canadian.
Yeah, sure. 7 loonies, or sorry, 7 toonies, whatever the fizzity. I'm not good at math. It's 14 something for NJPW. It's an amazing price for some professional wrestling, but all of those NJPW TV title matches are free. So go check it out for a teaser before taking the plunge. It's definitely worth it. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say thank y'all so very, very much for joining us here. Whether it's on the audio form and Sunday Night's Main Event, thank you so much. Please give us a 5-star review over there, and like us. And if you want to, SundayNight'sMainEvent.com, and then if you want to support Patreon.com/SME Radio or ChopTees.com, and hit the SNME section to support by buying some merchandise. And if you're watching on video, whether it's Andre Mil Wrestling Talk, whether it's a Backbaker video, I want to thank y'all so very, very much for joining us here. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, share us out to your friends, family, and those weird people that get taken away by thunderstorms, get floated down when the streets are all full of water and they get taken away by the water. Share us out to them, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
Are you talking about Georgie?
I'm just talking about people that get washed away when the water's rushing down the street.
I mean, Georgie got washed away. He sure did.
I have no idea
Remember
who that
Georgie
is.
from the It movie? Hiya, Georgie. Little kid in the yellow coat. Okay, wow.
I only ever saw the remakes, and I don't remember much about them.
It was literally the first thing in the remake.
I don't remember.
The kid with the yellow rain jacket who gets eaten. Oh my god. Okay, wow. That being said, Andre's not great at horror. This is why you go to Bobby Munson and Astrid Pizarro at Killer Cuts. They know all the horror stuff over there. Also, your trainer, Rich King, I think, is a big horror fan, so maybe go to him and ask him.
All I know is he's a big X-Men fan. That's what matters.
Sure. That being said, I'm your Mel Ball. Over there is a Cuckoo Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.